Hi folks, sorry I haven't made a video for a while now. I've just been cracking on with some light infantry. So these are, I think they're called, so you'd have a regiment of a line, and these would be a sort of light regiment of a line, I think. Excuse me. They're in the uniform of, I would call it probably pre-1812. So that pre-Bardin reforms. It's got a lozenge-shaped flag, rather than the later tricolour. Sorry. And I've painted up quite a few of those. It's quite an easy battalion or regiment to paint up, because they're all in dark blue. Some of them, I doubt you'll be able to pick them out, but some of them are in really dark blue, and the others I've developed a new method of painting the sort of dark blue that I've seen on some colour plates, and I suppose how the Perry show them off in their information sheets as well. So that's, I've got it upside down here, I'll just turn it around to dark Prussian blue. Coming to the end of that bottle. And 2 coats of that, I find it quite thin. So yeah, 2 coats. I've actually done them on this figure over here as well. You might be able to see the blue come out on that quite nicely. Dark tone then from Army Painter. And then what I do then is bring it back up. And what it can be nice to do is just add some Vallejo blue as a highlight. I wouldn't use it straight, because it's that would bring up the tone of the uniform then, you know, above what we're looking for, which is a dark blue really. I think the line infantry uniform colour is a little lighter, it's not as dark. Yeah, so I've got quite a few of these still to paint up. I've got just 10 of these on the side. I'm going to try and integrate them into some sort of battalion. I'm not really sure how. They're a bit of an unfortunate pose. I don't really use that many crouching poses in line, really. That said, I have used them here in this battalion in front of you because, well, I had them. I'm just using up old Victrix figures. Had a good value for money from a box of had some old metals and loads and loads of Victrix plastics from Ken down in Cardiff. He just sold me a shoebox of assorted Victrix French, and I've really well, made the most of them, I think. These are actually revolutionary plastics. I'm not sure if the coats are wrong. I barely think you can notice, to be honest, especially on the War Games table. But there's a lot of head conversions in there. If can pick up some of these. I really like this Perry head in the back left there. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, lots of Perry conversions there. There's only one Victrix head left there. I think this is because these had revolutionary sort of bicorns, and I just wanted to get rid of those really, because I'm looking to refight later battles really. The hobby has been much appreciated this week because a good friend of mine passed away, so I've just been trying to cope with that, I suppose, and it's just been war films and lots of painting here. Don't really know, nobody really prepares you for that sort of thing, so yeah, painting has been very I don't know, therapeutic or comforting. It's just something that I'm familiar with, so it's been nice. But yeah, just gotta carry on, I suppose. But, what I feel with painting Napoleonics, every battalion there's just something done, isn't it? It's a little bit of progression. So yeah, that's it. It's an oversized battalion. I was toying with the idea of painting 36-man battalions, and I was actually assembling the new Perry box set for the French now. So again, these shakos, you know, with the lozenge shape. You're probably familiar with, most of you dabbled in Napoleonics. The lozenge shaped badge there that guy has in the back, that's distinctive for the sort of earlier period. Certainly wouldn't be using that one for Waterloo, but I'm sure you can slip them in there if you wanted to, but just generally speaking, some of the, you know, the distinctions, the differences in uniform. So yeah, again, thinking Borodino here, just you know, 1812 earlier campaigns, as opposed to, like, I don't know, 1815 or really 1812 onwards, wouldn't it? With the Baden reforms. So yeah, rambling a bit here. Now I've got 3 stands at the back there. Those are sort of surplus to requirements, and they're also in marching poses, so I didn't really want to include those. But maybe they can be the basis of another battalion. I've actually got 6, 7, 8 stands of 4 there, so again, you know, the main battalion is larger than 24 man, but what I'll do is peel off 2 of those bases and throw them into another battalion, I think. So, I mean, could even do that, and you've basically formed 2 battalions. I'll want to paint a proper command for the one in the back, though, and if possible find, I do like to keep them all in the same poses. And someone mentioned the sort of off-center command stand thing, and I think that is something that bugs me a little bit. What else have I done? So those, I've been really working on those, finished those just now, based up, ready to go. If I get some decent weather, I think I'm just going to matte varnish everything that I have. They have been matte varnished with this brush-on stuff that was suggested on Facebook, Ultra Matte AK. And that's lovely stuff. It's a dead matte, which I've been really looking for. I just watched Lee Hughes' video on some, well, he had some trouble with gloss varnish, and that's really useful stuff, you know, for metals. But then when I put it on some plastic cavalry I was just a nightmare. Even after matting it down, you know, as much as I could, there's still this sort of gloss sheen. So that's something I've tried to avoid now, really. But it's really needed with metals, 100%, yeah, just to give it the really hard finish, you know, you don't want your paint chipping off. What I did manage to do as well, I'll just tilt down the camera here, is paint up, well, I had painted them up already, but I'm just going to be rebasing these 3 stands of Voltigeurs. So these are just, they're not light infantry or anything now, they're just your regular Voltigeurs. So those are 12 men, so I just finished off. Quite nice, and I think I'll just throw them into the, sorry, I'll have to pan out a little bit here. Just put them on the end of 3 battalions. So I have 1 battalion without a Voltigeur company, so this will be one of them. And the other 2 will happily be put into new battalions when they're painted up. I've got some metals as well that could form another Voltigeur company. Foundry this time. Probably won't want to mix those too much with the plastics. I think the taller guy there could stand side by side with a tall Victrix figure. I think that'll be okay. And then some of the, yeah, the Foundry, they're quite old sculpts now. It's a bit tricky to mix them, so I probably wouldn't bother really. But I'm really going into the Perry mode, I think. Yeah, Perry plastics, they're very nice. The new stuff. I had a battalion of those, and that's built up, and you get more than enough for, well, if you're only doing 24 man battalions, you're laughing pretty much because there's so much surplus figures. Sorry, you're not really looking at anything. And yeah, there's a lot to think about and a lot to crack on with. Just keep busy, I think, the next few weeks, and should see quite a lot of painting coming out for me because I am busy, but I've always got a few hours in the evening to paint something up. Artillery and cavalry next, I think, and then maybe the start on the Russians, yeah. And try and net anyone else that I can down the club to start with me if 28mm is something that they're interested in. I know that they're big into the 10mm Napoleonics, and then there's also an adaptation of Fire and Fury, but I'm not sure what scale they play at. I think that's Mark's 18mm AB figures. Then they're just stunning. I think he used to know the owner of the company when they worked in Wales rather than Australia, so he used to get them on a really good price. So yeah, lots to crack on with. Before I leave you, I'll just show some metals. I picked up 2 artillery pieces, and I got those relatively cheaply. I couldn't really find any reasonably priced, well, I say reasonably priced, I didn't find any bargains, so I picked up 2 cannons for the Mexican War of Independence, which are actually just the job for my Napoleonic French artillerymen. So those are very nice. Those are foundry again. So I'll prep those up and, you know, get started on these batteries. And plenty of cavalry. I think I would like to do some cuirassiers, maybe even a cuirassier division. That would be pretty immense, I think. And even though the plastics are very nice and I've painted those up recently, I think I might have to go for the metals for the cuirassiers. The stuff I've seen on the Perry website is just immense, and I think there's a pack where they're being shot at by canister and things. It's just, you know, some of the best sculpting I've seen, I think. So looking forward to buying some bits and pieces, and I'll keep you posted, folks. Okay, ta-da. Ta-da.